What's going on, YouTube? Today's a day I really never wanted to come, It's a sad day, unfortunately. As you guys can probably see from the title of the video, gonna be reverting the car back to stock. Unfortunately, just gotta handle some things, and that has to do with this car, and that's what led me to wanting to revert it back to stock. Nah, I'm just playing, y'all boys. It's April 1st when I'm recording this video, so April Fool's to y'all boys for thinking I'm really reverting the car back to stock, because I'm not. Nah, we're not doing that, bro. But we do have to address something, and I've actually seen some comments about it, and I really didn't think people really noticed nor cared. But people have been asking what's up with like the check engine light. I'm tuned and everything, and I've talked about the tune clearing out the catalyst downpipe and stuff. But there's something that I've probably mentioned before, and that's the fact that I have a Mishimoto cooler thermostat, or cold temp thermostat. That's what it was called, Mishimoto cold temp thermostat. And I had put that on the car after the coolant hose blew, and the shop that I took it to was like, I don't know, it could be the thermostat, could have just been the hose blew, but let's just replace both. And I was like, all right, cool, let's replace both, right? Whatever. So we replaced both, and I talked to like 3 people. Shop said if the Mishimoto one is the same price, go with it. My boy said go with the Mishimoto one. Tuner, a local tuner that I know, didn't tune my car, but originally was gonna tune my car. He did some work on my car. Was like, nah, bro, just go with the OEM one, right? You'd think I listen to the tuner. No, why would I listen to the tuner? He's just the guy that kind of tunes my car. He's not some random shop or my boy who's never owned a Jenny in his life. So, what the hell is that? Is that a freaking Jeep making all that noise? Anyways, so yeah, I decided, I'm gonna go with the Mishimoto thermostat, same price as the OEM one. Yeah, let's just do that, right? I'm already paying the labor, I might as well just get it done. Just want the car to be running good, and who cares, right? Colder, right? It's Florida, it's hot. So if it's running colder, then it's gonna run better. Initially is what I thought, and me and my boy both thought. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I had the same idea. What we didn't think of it is the car is tuned already, number one, right, with the OEM thermostat. Number two, the ECU is not gonna recognize this colder thermostat, right? These lower temps. It's gonna get freaked out. And I was like, whatever. I didn't really think about that. Those things didn't really occur to my mind at the time. I just wanted to get this handled. He got it done, and the car was running good. I was like, okay, cool. It's gonna be running colder. This is awesome. Whatever. I can roll race people whenever I feel like it. Like, it doesn't matter really about the temperature anymore, because the car's gonna be running colder anyways, right? About 2-3 weeks go by, maybe a month. I think a month. Honestly, it's been a while, so my track of time and actual time, like how long it was, is a little bit off. But maybe it was a month. And I was downshifting, pops and bangs was going, pop, pop, pop. And I was like, check engine pops up, and of course my heart dropped. You guys probably know the fear of a check engine, especially if you don't know what it was. Like, I'm still catalyst, but I'm tuned, and that shit's been gone. So I'm like, maybe it's just because of that. Maybe the tune's tripping, and the tuner just needs to do something about it, right? Let me text him, whatever. But when I went and I scanned it on the OBD2 scanner that I have, it's a more advanced one, actually. You can erase codes and stuff. It's pretty decent, actually, and it'll tell you exactly what's going on. Yeah, it told me cooling temps were too low, and I was like, what? The car temps are too low? I've never heard of that. And I kind of just let it be. Drove like a month or two like that. Every now and then I'd erase it, and it'd come back in like a week or two after driving, maybe even less. Then after the 3rd time I raced it, I was like, all right, dude, I'm just gonna let it be. Check engine's not that deep. Worst comes to worst, I want to sell the car. I can explain that, or I can just, try and get it coded out by a tuner. Right? Text the tuner. He's being very irresponsive and not really responding. Month goes by. I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't want to drive out to Tampa or wherever he's at, Plant City, wherever he's at, to go clear it anyways, and he's not responding, so I'm not gonna press him about it. Then, you know, started noticing my range was going down, my gas range. Like, my miles per gallon necessarily were a little lower, but I was like, I'm tuned. Started noticing the range, like the miles that I would get was going down tremendously. Like, I used to get like 315 being catless. And I understand I'm tuned, but I'm not like going and racing every person I see on the road, and I'm not in manual mode every day. I do manual mode whenever I got like bored, I want to have some fun. So I was like, this is odd. And I started doing my research, started putting 2 and 2 together, and, you know, kind of diagnosed the problem. Problem is, since I have this cold thermostat, it is running colder temps, right? Of course. That also means the car is in warm-up mode for longer than it should be, because the ECU is not programmed with this thermostat. That being said, I start up the car. Honestly, to get even to the second bar on the thermostat, I'm not sure about the temperatures, to be honest, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about if you have a Jenny. To get to that second bar takes like a solid 3-4 minutes, which is pretty long time just to get to the second bar. So to get it like fully warmed up, I don't even know how long that would take, but it doesn't even go past, it doesn't get to the middle line anymore. It gets to that bar before the middle line. I don't know why. I can't really think of the degrees and temperature right now, but honestly, let's be real, that doesn't matter. If you have a Jenny, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, basically it makes the car dump more fuel to warm up the car, and it stays in warm mode for longer. That is what I understand from all my research that I've done. Now the problem is the tuner that tuned my car, right, the shop, English Touch Performance, they shut down. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I remember the last thing I saw was he was in the hospital, so maybe, you know, hopefully he's all right, but his shop shut down. They have no Instagram anymore. All they have is a Facebook, and then they have the number, but I've never called it because I don't think it's connected. So that being said, I was like, all right, let me hit up a local tuner. Well, the local tuner has not responded, and it's been a few weeks. Obviously, people have lives, people are busy. I'm not even sure if he's tuning anymore, and I am tapped in with the Jenny community, but it's like, right now I'm kind of in that predicament where is it worth me keeping the OEM thermostat, keeping the Michelin motor thermostat, and just running it up and just getting terrible gas mileage? Or is it more worth it just go revert it back to OEM? I'm honestly not too sure how difficult of a job it is to replace a thermostat. I wouldn't think it's that hard. I hope it's not that hard. But I'm kind of in that predicament, and that's why I titled this video reverting the Genesis Coupe back to stock. But no, I'm not reverting it back to stock. I just thought that would be a funny title, funny start to the video, you know, April Fools and whatnot. Perfect timing in my opinion. But other than that, I just know it's been a while since I posted, and this has been on my mind for a little bit. So I was thinking maybe some of my viewers, some of my subscribers can let me know in the comments if they've dealt with the same issue or if they know anything about it. Because there's definitely people that are more educated on Genesis Coupes than I am. I've done everything I wanted to do to this car, but there's also people that have taken to an extreme, rebuilt, torn down the Jenny, done A, B, and C, D, and everything else to it, you know what I mean? Everything you could possibly do. So I want more people's takes on it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, just been dealing with the normal Genesis Coupe things, and, you know, just been driving it, enjoying it. It's the first time I've driven it in a week. I wasn't with it for about a week, so it was nice driving it today and stuff, you know, hitting some boost. Weather is, it's nice, but, you know, it's not boost weather. It's pretty hot, actually. It's pretty freaking hot, actually. So yeah, that being said, I think is where I'm gonna close out the video. Hopefully, you know, I figured this out. Worst comes to worst, I'll keep it as is. I actually did find my OEM thermostat, which is pretty clutch. I thought I threw it out, to be honest. But like I said, we really don't know if the OEM thermostat works or not. So I don't want to go and pay someone to install it, and then it's like, oh, it doesn't work. And then I have to uninstall it and pay them to install the new one. I really don't want to go through all that. So that's why I'm thinking, like, do I keep it, or do I try and attempt, you know, installing it in my garage and calling it a day? I'm not really sure if the thermostat would have to be reprogrammed with the ECU. I don't think it would, because it's the OEM one, and that's what I got tuned on. But other than that, I mean, I don't think it's that deep. It's just, you know, MPG and stuff is not what it should be, which kind of makes life more expensive, you know. These cars are not cheap to fill up. Even though it's a 4-cylinder, unless you live in a state with cheap gas, it is not cheap to fill up, so it does catch up to you. I know all my Genesis Coupe owners feel that one. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I'll catch y'all boys in the next one, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. And if you enjoyed this video, just leave me a thumbs up and comment anything you want to see next, or if you have any advice on the situation, because I'm sure there's some of you guys that will know a little thing or two about this.